I'll say Zhang Weili because she's going to get an opportunity to fight Valentina, and she would seem to have a good style for Valentina, especially to Valentina today, who's more cautious in terms of like wrestling. She doesn't strike as much as she used to. Weili can defend that. I'll say
I have to ask. Weili's already sent her message out to you. She says, she said, congratulations, and then everything's lined up, and then it's destiny that you two face. So I guess, is that a fight you'd be interested in? Do you have a response for Weili?
Oh, now like coming before coming to his to here, so everyone was saying like Weili or Natalia, like another contender. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I just like wanna maybe fans can play some role in that, and if they can like join my OnlyFans page and drop some messages who they wanna see me fight next. So I think it's gonna be we will compare who's next.
Zhang Weili has sent a clear warning message to Valentina Shevchenko, and it's one that could reshape the landscape of women's MMA forever. In an unprecedented move that no one saw coming, the Chinese strawweight queen vacated her 115-pound championship belt, moving up an entire weight class to challenge the flyweight champion in what promises to be the most significant women's super fight in UFC history.
No, you guys stand up. Okay.
In the pocket like that because Andrade loves to fight like this. Wow!
Oh, clips! And now knees to the body from John.
Wow!
Elbows up top.
This is bad for Andrade.
Is this the moment?
This is they're having these minutes. This is the
Zhang Weili.
This is MMA Central News, and I'm your host, bringing you all the explosive details of this historic matchup announced for UFC 322. Let's break down exactly what happened. On Thursday night, UFC CEO Dana White dropped a bombshell that left the MMA world stunned. Not only did he announce that UFC 322 would take place November 15th at the iconic Madison Square Garden, but he revealed a co-main event that nobody anticipated, a champion versus champion super fight between two of the most dominant women in UFC history.
We spoke with Weili before this fight earlier this week, and she said that if she got past Tatiana, what she would want is to move up in flyweight because she feels like she's running out of opponents at strawweights. Will you entertain like this super fight between Valentina and Weili in the future?
They're waiting for me.
Zhang Weili, the reigning strawweight champion with 26 wins and only 3 losses, has made the bold decision to vacate her 115-pound title. But this isn't a retirement. This is a declaration of war. The 36-year-old Chinese fighter is moving up to flyweight to challenge Valentina Bullet Shevchenko, the 37-year-old Kyrgyzstani-Peruvian champion who holds a record of 25 wins, 4 losses, and 1 draw. But here's what makes this truly historic. According to official UFC rankings, Shevchenko sits at number 1 on the women's pound-for-pound list, while Zhang holds the number 2 spot. This will be the first time in UFC history that the top 2 women on the pound-for-pound rankings will clash inside the octagon. Zhang's message was crystal clear when she broke her silence on social media, posting, "Keep moving forward. Stay positive and upward. Break through everything and surpass yourself. Everything is brand new."
One of the greatest fights that you will ever see in your life is Weili Zhang versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk. One of the greatest fights you'll ever see is that fight.
Oh, not bad, but she's got to hurt it.
When we dive into the statistics, this fight becomes even more intriguing. The betting odds tell the story perfectly. FanDuel opened this as nearly a pick'em fight, with Shevchenko as just a minuscule favorite at -115, while Zhang comes back at -111. These razor-thin odds reflect what experts have been saying. This is as close to an even matchup as you'll ever see at the highest levels of MMA.
Weili with that right hand.
因为他是4月。谁的呀？像我这学那干啥嘞？就这，有啥用学呢？
Oh my goodness！
就是倔强，所以他自己说，我选择的路，我就是跪着要把它走。
Is this the moment？
这就伟力，说他跟别人不一样的地方。 梦想就是一个武侠梦，现在人家实现。
Zhang Weili makes history! Oh my word!
Zhang brings explosive offensive power to the table, landing 5.15 significant strikes per minute with 53% accuracy. Throughout her career, she's scored 11 knockout victories, showcasing the devastating power that has made her a fan favorite.
Wouldn't it be Valentina Shevchenko?
She speaks multiple languages. She's a weapons expert.
She dances.
She flies planes.
You also played a ukulele.
She plays in movies.
Come on, man. She's a Russian asset, isn't she?
They believe that you are a spy.
Bro, she's got a gun tattooed. Oh, damn, boy. That's a beautiful and terrifying woman.
Meanwhile, Shevchenko represents technical precision. While she's less offensive at 3.14 significant strikes per minute, her accuracy and defensive metrics are superior. She boasts a 63% significant strike defense rate and an impressive 75% takedown defense percentage. Numbers that reflect her tactical approach honed over an incredible 10-year, 18-fight UFC career. This clash of styles, Zhang's aggressive forward pressure versus Shevchenko's calculated counter-striking and strategic clinch work, sets up a technical masterpiece that could define both women's legacies.
Fighter from China to win a UFC championship.
My name is Zhang Weili. I'm from China. Remember me?
Both fighters enter this super fight as two-time champions with legitimate claims to being the greatest in their division's histories. Zhang's recent dominance has been nothing short of spectacular. In her latest title reign, she's successfully defended her strawweight belt 3 times, including a career-defining performance against the previously undefeated Tatiana Suarez at UFC 312 in February. That lopsided decision victory marked the first time anyone had defeated Suarez, who was 10-0 heading into their encounter.
In MMA.
然后就当时说，如果你们好好练，我就会好好培养你们，给你请最好的教练。他说这个话的时候，我就心里就觉得挺敬佩的。
By vacating her title to pursue this challenge, Zhang has essentially cleaned out the strawweight division and proven she's ready for the ultimate test. On the other side, Shevchenko's journey back to the top has been equally impressive. After losing her title to Alexa Grasso in 2023, Bullet fought her way back with determination and precision. She reclaimed her flyweight crown with a dominant decision victory over Grasso at UFC 306 this past September, settling their trilogy once and for all.
One of the most dangerous women on the planet is Valentina Shevchenko.
2 words describe Shevchenko: ice cold. She's an ice cold killer.
Tell me she wouldn't be the greatest spy of all time. She fucks up everybody.
First of all, I'm not a spy.
Or what if she's not even the only one in her family? Her sister is a 10 times Muay Thai world champion, a UFC fighter, and a pilot. Her mother is a Taekwondo's 3rd Dan black belt and president of a Muay Thai federation. But how can they be Russian spies if they're not even from Russia?
Shevchenko then proved she was back to her championship form with a successful title defense against top contender Manon Fiorot at UFC 315 in May, winning by decision and reminding everyone why she dominated the division for so long. Now, both women's legacies hang in the balance. For Zhang, victory would make her a 2-division champion and potentially cement her as the greatest female fighter of all time. For Shevchenko, defending against such a formidable challenger would further solidify her pound-for-pound supremacy.
一会儿可以沟通一下，问一问吧。也就是所有的东西可能都需要一个时机。对，如果有了好的机会，然后对手也很愿意接，或者他的伤病也没有，然后所有的东西。
Zhang Weili's warning to Valentina, Shevchenko has been delivered not through words, but through actions. By vacating her title and moving up a weight class, she's essentially saying, I'm coming for everything you've built, and I'm confident enough to risk my own legacy to prove I'm the best. Whether Shevchenko's technical mastery can withstand Zhang's explosive pressure, or whether the Chinese champion's boldness will be rewarded with 2-division glory, remains to be seen. What we know for sure is that November 15th will answer the ultimate question in women's MMA: who truly deserves to be called the pound-for-pound queen? This has been MMA Central News. Keep your eyes on the octagon, and we'll see you next time with more breaking coverage from the world of mixed martial arts.
The co-main event, Juliana Pena taking on Kayla Harrison. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There it is. Hey! Easy money. If I was Kayla Harrison, I would retire from the sport. don't fight Amanda Nunes. Amanda is going to, we'll talk about that in the breakdown.
One more thing for you, Kayla Harrison versus Amanda. Who do you think wins?
I think Kayla does. Just, you know, she's just, she's the woman to contend with right now. And Amanda's been off too long. And I know Amanda's like, you know, I'm better now than I was. And I'm just like, bullshit, you know, that's not, that, like, just, and that's, I mean, respect, but that's just how I think of it. You can't be out for that long. And you know, she's not training every day. She looks happy, which is great. She's got 2 beautiful daughters, a beautiful wife. Life is good. She's sleeping on silk sheets, you know, silk pillows. It's like, why is she, you can't tell me she's waking up and training every day, twice a day for the past couple of years. She's been enjoying her life. She's been taking her kids to Disney World and shit, you know. I was like, good for you. I'm happy for her. But she hasn't been putting in the same work that Kayla has. And, you know, Kayla's on it right now. She's on her game. So yes, you know, I say Kayla.
Demetrius Johnson and Miesha Tate have found himself in hot water after issuing a stark warning to newly crowned bantamweight champion Kayla Harrison about her potential super fight with Amanda Nunes. But it's not just any criticism. It's coming from Jorge Masvidal, who fired back with some explosive comments that have set the MMA community ablaze. Let's break down this developing story.
Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes. Kayla Harrison is the current UFC bantamweight champion of the world. Amanda Nunes is the former 2-division champion, double champion of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Kayla Harrison at UFC 316 proved that she was dominant. She was great. And she took the title from Juliana Pena, taking her down in the first round, taking her down in the second round, and submitting her by Kimura in the second round. Her hand was raised. It's 3 wins in a row in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, beating...
You fought absolute killers like Ronda, Nunes, Holm. Out of all these killers you fought, who do you think was like the hardest hitting fighter you went against?
Oh, it's Amanda for sure. She hits like a man. The Amanda.
What? I'm not touching that one.
That's crazy.
I mean that with all respect. She's got the power of a man.
She's that strong, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's very strong. She hits hard.
Let's start from the beginning. At UFC 316, Kayla Harrison made history by becoming the first woman to win both an Olympic gold medal and a UFC championship. She dominated Juliana Pena with a second-round Kimura submission, claiming the bantamweight title in spectacular fashion. Immediately after her victory, Amanda Nunes, the woman many consider the greatest female fighter of all time, entered the octagon for a face-off, setting up what could be the biggest women's super fight in UFC history.
And it was an incredible fight, and look at Amanda Nunes. And you think Amanda Nunes isn't going to be a star after this? I fucking guarantee it. I promise you that. You know, place went crazy for her. And I don't know what's next. Tuesday, we'll be back in the office, and we'll have a meeting and we'll figure out.
But not everyone thinks this is a good idea. Enter Demetrius Johnson, one of the most respected voices in MMA and former UFC flyweight champion. On his YouTube channel, Johnson delivered a blunt assessment that has everyone talking. Kayla Harrison is calling out Amanda Nunes. I think that's a very, very bad idea. Yes, Kayla is a world champion, but when you look at the roster of what Amanda Nunes fought and what Kayla Harrison fought, there's no comparison.
Now here's the flip thing. Kayla Harrison is calling out Amanda Nunes. I think that's a very, very bad idea. Reason why is because, yes, Kayla Harrison is a world champion. But when you look at the roster of what Amanda Nunes fought and what Kayla Harrison fight, there is no fucking comparison. There's not one.
Johnson didn't hold back, listing Nunes' legendary opponents, Ronda Rousey, Miesha Tate, Valentina Shevchenko, Kat Zingano, and arguing that Nunes' level of competition far exceeds anything Harrison has faced in her career. Now, you might expect some pushback from Harrison's camp, but the response came from an unexpected source. Jorge Masvidal, the former BMF champion and close teammate of Harrison, didn't just disagree with Johnson's assessment, he went nuclear. In an Instagram comment that's now viral, Masvidal hit back with, he's mad because Kayla would whoop his ass too.
There's no way I don't want to be here one day. I just work hard, put everything that I have, my sweat, my blood, everything, you know what I mean? The discipline and everything was just one more thing that I, have in my resume and to consolidate my whole career. And I'm here tonight. I'm so excited about it.
This isn't just trash talk. This reveals a deeper tension between these two fighters that goes back years. Remember, Johnson was traded to one championship for Ben Askren in 2018. That trade indirectly led to Masvidal's breakout moment when he knocked out Askren with that historic flying knee in just 5 seconds at UFC 239. Johnson has actually credited himself with helping create Masvidal's career resurgence, saying in a previous interview, "I think everybody won. When I say that we all won, we're all eating well now." He argued that his departure opened opportunities for fighters like Masvidal to make names for themselves.
Vieira and Juliana Pena, and after that, Amanda Nunes walked into the cage. It's been 2 years since we've seen Amanda Nunes active in the octagon. She came back, she walked into the cage, and she challenged Kayla Harrison for the title. Amanda Nunes wants what's hers. She wants that UFC bantamweight title. She wants it back. Nunes right now is 37 years old, 2 years younger than Kayla Harrison, the Olympic judo two-time gold medalist, had an incredible career in mixed martial arts, winning 15 in a row in the PFL.
But clearly, Masvidal doesn't see it that way, and this latest exchange suggests there's some real bad blood brewing between these two legends. Let's talk about the fight everyone wants to see. Amanda Nunes shocked the MMA world by coming out of retirement specifically for this Harrison matchup. According to her coach Din Thomas, they're targeting December for this super fight. "We are in the lab cooking now," Thomas told UFC Unfiltered. She's hoping for December. She was like, "I'm going crazy. I gotta find something to do."
Yeah, I hope he's here for sure. I'm gonna talk to Dana and to Hunter to see. You know what I mean? I'm ready to go. I'm healthy. I'm training, so ready to go.
What makes this fight even more intriguing is the history between these two. Harrison and Nunes were teammates at American Top Team for years until Nunes left the gym in 2022, reportedly because of tensions with Harrison. They know each other's games intimately. But here's where it gets interesting. Both fighters are struggling with the bantamweight weight cut. Harrison revealed she went through a brutal 15-week cut that nearly broke her mentally. She admitted, "I wanted to quit. I didn't want to be there anymore."
How tired of you are the questions about your weight? Like, how tired of you? Scale of 1 to 10, how tired of you?
I'm at about a 7. I mean, listen, I get it. Because to be honest with everyone, I really didn't know if I could make weight or not. Like, I believed, I had hope, and like, I just really felt called, like this was where I'm supposed to be. But I haven't weighed 135 pounds since I was 16 years old. So it's fair play that everyone was concerned.
Former UFC fighter Brendan Schaub has suggested they should fight at featherweight instead, saying, "Why force them to cut to 135? Why not do it at 145 so they don't have to kill themselves and you get a watered-down product?" This controversy highlights a bigger question in MMA. Should veterans be warning rising stars about dangerous fights, or is it their place to stay quiet?
Kayla Harrison signing with the UFC, fighting on UFC 300 against Holly Holm. So you guys know how big Ronda was? Ronda was a bronze medal winner. She's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Then comes over, 6 years ago into MMA. She's the face of PFL for how long? This is why this fight's interesting to me. She had an interview probably 6 years ago with Ariel, and he goes, what about 135? She goes, you would have to cut off both my legs for me to make 135. Years ago, we had Kayla Harrison on Food Truck Diaries. She's a mini Brock Lesnar. She's jacked, dude. The cut for Kayla Harrison is going to destroy her. Is she going to do it? Absolutely. The level that Holly Holm has been competing at is so much higher than any other opponent she's ever fought. And she's going to be depleted at 135. Holly Holm is a world-class striker. I think it's by far her toughest competition. So there's so many storylines in this fight, which is why I love it.
Johnson's warning comes from experience. He dominated the flyweight division for years and understands what it takes to beat elite competition. His concern seems genuine. He even suggested Harrison should retire rather than face Nunes. But Masvidal's response suggests some fighters see this as disrespectful to Harrison's accomplishments. After all, she's an Olympic champion who just dominated a former 2-time UFC champion.
In the blue corner, fighting out of Marituba, Brazil, here is Larissa Pacheco. In the red corner, fighting out of Middletown, Ohio, here is a 2-time PFL world champion, Kayla Harrison.
Adding another layer to this story, Larissa Pacheco, the only woman to ever defeat Harrison in MMA, has offered to help train Nunes for the fight. It's Brazilian solidarity meeting tactical advantage. So where do we go from here? Harrison is back in training and has made it clear, I'm ready to whoop Amanda's ass. I'm going to break her.
Kayla, if you win this fight, there's talk you could face... When you win this fight, there's talk you could face Amanda Nunes. How do you feel about potentially fighting someone you used to train with?
Yeah, my focus is on Saturday night, one step at a time. Everybody's tough until you beat them, so I'm focused on Juliana. But in judo, it's very different culture and mentality. Like you end up competing against the same girls over and over and over and over again. And you go to a tournament, and then you have a 3-day training camp with all of the girls you just competed with. And then you go to another tournament and you have a training camp. So I used to fight my friends or compete against my friends all the time. And it's not personal, it's just business.
She, in my opinion, is the new face of the PFL. She was the big winner on Friday in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. She is the 125-pound women's tournament winner. She is a $1 million winner. She won the PFL Europe tournament. And now the big shebang, if you will. She is the pride of Manchester and Bulgaria. She is the one and only Dakota Ditcheva.
I'm happy to be back. I'm excited to get in the cage now and showcase my skills again.
We have a warning for the UFC brass today. When legendary MMA journalist Ariel Helwani and former lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov start talking about the same fighter, you better listen up. The message is crystal clear. The UFC is sleeping on what might be the most dominant female fighter on the planet right now. We're talking about Dakota Ditcheva, the undefeated PFL champion who just sent shockwaves through the MMA world with her devastating knockout of former UFC contender Taila Santos.
That would dig in deep for sure. Santos is in big trouble. She's in big trouble. Dakota Ditcheva to the body again for the championship. Not sure what that's all about.
Today, we're breaking down why the entire MMA community is going absolutely crazy on social media, demanding the UFC make a move for this 26-year-old destroyer from Manchester. Stay tuned because this story is heating up fast. Let's start with what has everyone talking. At the PFL Championship in Saudi Arabia, Dakota, Dangerous Ditcheva, did what she does best. She dominated from start to finish.
Come on in.
Down the fence.
We're ready.
So long and rangy.
Put away.
In the co-main event, Ditcheva faced Taila Santos, a fighter who many believe deserved to beat Valentina Shevchenko for the UFC flyweight title. Santos was considered the toughest test of Ditcheva's career. The result? A brutal second-round body shot knockout that left Santos crumbling in the middle of the cage. As Ariel Helwani put it, woo Dakota Ditcheva second-round TKO, clinical, impressive. Again, she wins the million and the tournament. Face of PFL. A few months later, she did a vlog shopping for the best deal on car insurance because funds were tight. What a story.
Said, I've got PFL here. It's the show that Brendan's on. So it was because Brendan had signed with them out of the UFC that I kind of knew what it was. And they were like, they're launching in Europe. They're going to do like a $100,000 tournament. So they'd love to, get you involved. And that's kind of how it started for me. But I think I wouldn't have known.
Think about that for a second. Just months ago, she was worried about car insurance payments. Now she's walking away with $1 million check and being called the best women's fighter on the planet. That's the kind of meteoric rise that creates superstars. Ditcheva is now 14-0 as a professional, with an absolutely ridiculous 92% knockout rate. 12 knockouts, 1 submission, and only 1 decision. Those are video game numbers, folks. But here's what separates Ditcheva from other prospects. Her mindset is pure championship material, and it's exactly what caught Khabib Nurmagomedov's attention. In a recent interview with Uncrowned, Ditcheva revealed her ambitious plan. She's not just thinking about staying undefeated, she's targeting Khabib-level legendary status.
But last time out, we saw the grappling skills as well. Will we see more of that tomorrow night?
Yeah, if that's where she wants to go, I'll take it to the floor. I mean, I can fight anywhere, so I'm happy to do whatever.
You've done your camp for this fight at American Top Team. Obviously, probably the best gym in the world, a room full of killers there. What has that added to your game?
Yeah, I've done a full camp at Top Team this time. So, I mean, I've just had the experience of training with a lot of girls, you know, and a lot of heavier girls, highly experienced and, you know, top level. So, and, you know, I'm holding my own. So there's not really much people can offer me now these days. You know, I'll be in there for a tough fight, but she didn't sound too convinced herself, did she?
You got a huge fight tomorrow night, but as we all know, you're a huge City fan. They're playing tomorrow night, just before your fight. Are you watching, or are you going to be focused on the fight fully?
No, I'm definitely going to watch City if I get time, 100%. You know, they're just as important as my fight. But I mean, I always say this, I don't get paid like they.
Listen to this quote. People always say there'll always be someone there who can beat you, but who says? Why do people say that? Why accept you're going to get beat at one point? That's not the mentality you should have, she continued. I think about staying undefeated and going to 15-0, 30-0, 60-0. I'm not thinking about one loss on my record. Hell no, it's not going to happen for me.
Now, Dakota, you always come off as being so sweet, so kind, so bubbly. But you are just such a subtle, great little trash talker, especially with the hand gestures. I noticed you hushing Jenna's corner because there's been a lot of talk this week between the two of you. Did it feel good to kind of, not shut her up, but get the redemption that you wanted after all the back and forth?
Yeah, definitely. I think shut them all up. I feel like I've took a lot of stick from like all the girls this tournament, which comes with the fight game, and I never moan. You know, I just let them write what they want to write, tag me in it, all sorts of stuff, and I just let my fighting do the talking, and then I get my little say at the end. So yeah, it's satisfying to get another stoppage, you know. And even like the other girls in the tournament, like Talia Santos, she fought Jenna, she didn't stop her, she got a split decision. So I'm shutting them all up by proving them wrong and getting the first round stoppages again.
That's the exact mentality that made Khabib a legend. The refusal to accept defeat as inevitable, the belief that perfection is achievable. And just like Khabib dominated his division with grappling, Ditcheva is doing it with striking, but she's also shown massive improvements in her ground game. The American Top Team product is becoming more complete with every fight, and that combination of elite striking with improving grappling is terrifying for any potential opponent. The MMA community has completely lost its mind over this performance, and the message to the UFC is unanimous. Sign this woman now. Let me read you some of these reactions that are blowing up Twitter and Instagram, bro, hypothetically. If Dakota Ditcheva got a title shot in her UFC debut against Valentina, I genuinely think she would demolish her. She's so well-rounded, but her striking is otherworldly. Shawty has John Jones-esque technique, and it's fire to watch. Dakota Ditcheva is UFC ready. She beats your favorite UFC W flyweight. The UFC needs to grab Dakota Ditcheva. Ditcheva might be the best women's fighter on the planet. But here's the tweet that really caught fire. UFC needs to make a trade with PFL for Dakota Ditcheva. Fans are literally demanding the UFC make a business deal to get her. When was the last time you saw this level of grassroots demand for a fighter who's never stepped foot in the octagon?
It's been viral on the internet for a reason, and in her last fight, fighting Talia Santos, TKO in the second round. She usually beats him in one. 12 knockout TKOs in her career, 1 submission. She can take her opponent down. She's a Muay Thai kickboxing stylist, and the power that she has is to behold. It's unbelievable. And I know that word is heavily used, but Dakota Ditcheva deserves that. She is unbelievable. And that's why this would be the greatest fight right now in the
flyweight division has been dominated by Valentina Shevchenko for years, but fans genuinely believe Ditcheva could walk in and change everything immediately. Now here's where it gets interesting. The UFC has a real problem on their hands. Dakota Ditcheva is scheduled to fight Sumiko Inaba at PFL Cape Town on July 19th, 2025. That's her first fight of the year, and she's been vocal about her frustration with the long layoff. The PFL knows they have a superstar on their hands. They've invested heavily in building their promotion, and Ditcheva is becoming the face of their brand. But the longer they keep her from the biggest stage in MMA, the more pressure builds.
Here we go! Right on the money, baby! What a chance!
From a business perspective, the UFC flyweight division desperately needs fresh blood. Valentina Shevchenko has cleared out most of the division, and casual fans are losing interest. Ditcheva represents exactly what the division needs: youth. Youth, excitement, and devastating finishing ability. The question isn't whether Ditcheva belongs in the UFC, it's whether the UFC can afford not to have her. With her perfect record, million-dollar star power, and the kind of highlight reel finishes that go viral, she's exactly what the promotion needs to revitalize women's flyweight.
Shevchenko would be 3 inches shorter. She'd be taking on a woman with insane power that could really hurt her if she gets the right strike up. Valentina is a master of sport in multiple striking disciplines, including boxing, kickboxing, taekwondo, judo. Valentina is the best. This would be the best opponent for her. This would be the best matchup for...
What do you think? Should the UFC break the bank to sign Dakota Ditcheva? Can she really beat Valentina Shevchenko on debut? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more MMA breaking news, and hit that notification bell so you never miss when we drop the latest updates on the hottest stories in combat sports. And we'll see you next time on MMA Central.
Breach. She has the long-range weapon that we've got to watch out for Collins is that rear stabbing front kick. We saw her use it against Sinead Kavanagh. Really good, jamming it into the mid-set.
Right there to Collins, but caught in massive trouble.
Here's the exchange where she gets caught. Beautiful right hook, cracked her on the chin.
It was that right hand that got through earlier, and then it really landed. Just watch it again. And she fell face first.
Come on in.
Down the fence.
We're ready.
So long and rangy.
Put away.
Two undefeated queens, two different paths to dominance. One burning question: is Sarah Collins the fighter who could actually challenge Dakota Ditcheva's reign? Today, we're breaking down the ultimate matchup that MMA fans are dying to see. On one side, we have Dakota Ditcheva, the 26-year-old British phenom who just became PFL's youngest champion and the first British female MMA world champion, walking away with that cool $1 million prize.
And a lot of people don't understand with a judoka that has the skill level of Sarah Collins. When you get into this Kezigatami, they're so good at controlling this position. A lot of people think, oh, I can just take my leg and flip it and take the back. It's not that easy. Now with the arm in this position, Sam Sorensen is in real trouble.
And putting the squeeze, raining down punches and strategizing as well, John. Collins trying to finish.
Now she switched it.
She does. Sarah Collins in her Bellator MMA debut records the first round submission win. The 32-year-old is a perfect 4-0 with 2 submission victories.
On the other side, we have Sarah Collins, the 34-year-old Australian judoka turned striker who just shocked the world by submitting Leah McCourt to become Bellator's #1 contender. But here's the real question everyone's asking. Could Sarah Collins be the one to finally test Dakota's dominance? Let's dive deep into the tale of the tape. First, let's talk about the woman everyone's calling the future of women's MMA, Dakota Ditcheva. The record Dakota's sitting pretty at 13-0, with 12 of those wins coming by way of knockout or TKO. That's a 92% finish rate. But here's what makes her special. She's not just winning, she's demolishing opponents.
Beautiful from Dakota. Beautiful. It's going to be unbelievable.
Dakota's style is pure violence wrapped in technical precision. Coming from a Muay Thai background, she was a world champion before transitioning to MMA. Her striking is absolutely lethal. Her signature? Body shots that drop fighters like they've been hit by a truck.
Ditcheva. Wow, big head kick. Very well placed. Now listen, Ditcheva did a great job to still stay in that fight after that because that landed. Absolutely. So, absolutely.
She's never won a belt, as she said. Like, she's not a complete fighter, is she? I'm not a complete fighter. She definitely isn't either, so. But whatever.
Just look at her recent performances. She finished Tayla Santos, a former UFC title challenger, with body punches in the second round. Santos had never been finished before. That's the Dakota difference. At just 26, she's already broken multiple records. Youngest PFL champion in history, first British woman to win an MMA world title, and she's doing it all with Manchester City goal celebrations that have become her trademark. The confidence, the skill, the marketability. Dakota has it all. Now let's talk about the woman who might be flying under the radar, Sarah Collins.
Breach. She has. The long-range weapon that we've got to watch out for Collins is that rear stabbing front kick. We saw her use it against Sinead Kavanagh. Really good, jamming it into the midsection.
Great hand for Collins, for caught in massive trouble.
Here's the exchange where she gets caught. Beautiful right hook, cracked her on the chin.